Okay, first question, Grandma.
Yeah.
What does love mean to you?
What does love mean to me?
Yes.
Um, hmm, good question.
Good question. I don't know either. Don't ask me that question.
Oh.
I have to. Actually, to me, love is a
Never have him say you're sorry.
no. Don't
That's
do
a love
that.
story.
Don't do that. See, that's what I mean about not being serious. Love to me means a really deep, emotional, spiritual, and intellectual partnership with another human being
Not
that
necessarily.
that's greater or deeper than any other. But if you're talking love in general or love for my partner,
For
there's a
you.
difference.
For you. What does love mean to you specifically?
Just you know, a
He's
deep,
just
a
slapping
deep.
that bitch insane.
Stop. A very deep, abiding well of caring, emotion, concern, attraction, respect, empathy, and some things that are hard to explain. You know, they don't have words. You know.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to keep going if that's all you could think of.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm asking 3 questions, by the way, for each of you, and then 4 group questions. Okay. What is different about your relationship with Gigi than with anyone else in your life?
Are you talking about?
I stayed and put up with her bullshit.
You're talking. Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
We laugh a lot. We laugh. We make each other smile and laugh a lot. Even when we have fights, we end up laughing. You know.
That's cute.
And I admire her deep commitment to our life together.
Even though she'll tell me she hates me. I hate you. Don't talk to me.
I don't say I hate you.
Yeah, you do.
Never. Oh, you make it sound so different.
All right, you don't.
Stop. Stop it. Sometimes I want her to be serious, but most of the time it's funny.
Okay. And now,
Yeah.
do you wish you met Gigi earlier in your life?
Definitely.
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I would like to have had more years to spend with her. No, because at the point that I met her in my life, I was ready to have a comprehensive, complete relationship with another human being.
Okay. Comprehensive. How do you spell that? Comprehensive life. I agree with that, honestly. I wish Finn and I met later in life. Just a little couple years later. Just because we were like 14.
I mean, I wish I'd met her a lot earlier in life. I was already 45 and she was 55.
No, 35 and 45, honey.
35, 45.
You were 35, I was
young.
45.
Yeah. I wish I'd known you in your earlier times.
You would have been a baby.
Only by 10 years.
Fair.
20 and 30. Except I was in Hawaii in 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you were living it up in Hawaii. At least you were living it up in Hawaii.
I was.
Yeah.
I was having a good time.
Okay. That's all my questions just for you, Grandma.
Okay.
Gigi, you're up. I'm going to ask you the same first question, even though I know you don't like it. What does love mean to you?
I don't really have an answer for that. It's more of a spiritual,
Mm.
emotional feeling that a lot of people can give it to you, but very few can give you the love that you're really looking for,
Mm.
which I found in Chris.
Aw. Okay. This is kind of, I don't know, this is kind of funny. This next one's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to settle with someone like my grandma, even knowing all of her baggage? Having kids and everything, you know?
I'll tell you a story what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea I was going to get involved with Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
We met in school, and it was only just like here and there, but we met in our first class, and every time we'd see each other, we'd talk to each other. But she came into the quick check one day and asked if I wanted to go to a movie and dinner. So we did go to the dinner, but when I was sitting there across from the table from her, it was like a split second, but it lasted like forever in my head that she was the person that I would be in for the rest of my life. And it was her face that I was seeing, even though I wasn't really looking at her.
Aww.
And I knew that moment that that was the person I wanted to be with.
Aww.
It's kind of weird. I told you about that.
You did tell me about it. You said it was like you saw forever
I
immediately.
saw it forever, and it was just a split second. But in my head, it was a forever thing.
Yeah.
I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
It was just really wild.
Aw. That's cute. I've never heard that, like, from a real person. Like, it's always like love at first sight, like
I had no intention
spark.
of getting involved with her.
No.
Yeah. Wow,
I
Grandma.
just wanted to be friends. I just wanted to be friends.
Aw.
But at that moment, I already knew that
She
I
saw
was
her
committed.
future. Yeah.
I saw her future. Yeah,
That's cute.
it was really weird.
So the baggage and all of that, I guess, didn't matter. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
We almost didn't go make it.
Not really. We didn't have any major, you know.
Well, we were away for a couple days because we got mad at each other. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't even remember what it was.
We weren't even seeing each other that long. I don't remember. It was stupid. That's the like first few months of your.
We were
But
away for a couple days.
actually, when I truly knew the depth of how deep love for her was, up until that point, a lot of the love stuff was always romantic and whatever. But when Grandma had cancer and she was in bed and she hadn't been talking for a long time, and all of a sudden she jumped up, you know, and said, Chris, what's going on? You know, she was dying at that time, and she said, I need to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. It was the dead of winter, and Lori went over to the bed and struggled to pick her up and carry her into the living room, saying to me, we got to put her in the car. We got to take her to the beach. She wants to see the ocean, right? And I looked at her like she lost her mind. And I realized...
Hey, if I could have carried her, I would have.
She would have carried her right outside, you know, and into the car in the middle of the night, the dead of winter. And then we just kind of sat her down in front of the fireplace and covered her, and she went out. But I realized to have that kind of depth of empathy for another human being.
I do have that empathy.
Yeah, to see that. I mean, as much as she's a kidder, you know, she's has huge empathy for other people. She feels a great deal of pain. So I fell in love with her, the depth of her soul, you know. For you people, you know, so I could see deeply into the kind of human being, but that also talks about what I mean about being ready for understanding that, because too often people walk away from it or don't know it exists because they're not open to seeing that true reality of what love is beyond sex, beyond the flutters in the first year or 2 or 3. It's more than that. It's living through the journey together and coming out on the other side of that and being glad that you're with that person, you know, and you couldn't see yourself with anyone else till the day you die. You can't even fathom it. It's like the idea that we're both up in age. You know, we always kid. We say to each other, I'm going first. No, you're going first. No, you know, I have to go first, she says to me, because I'll be a basket case. And she said, I won't be able to deal with it, you know. And she thinks that I'd be stronger and more capable because my experience in life. And so it's not easy.
Yeah. Finn says the same thing to me too, actually.
Aww.
Look what Gigi says.
Yeah.
Okay, last question for you, Gigi.
I am listening.
Is what have you learned about life since being with Grandma?
I learn every day something new. It's been a wonderful life, so I've learned so much from her.
Yeah.
What have you learned from me? I have patience.
Well, I have gotten better with my patience.
You have been, yeah.
So I did learn patience with her because sometimes I like to choke her.
Choke Eddie.
But I have learned patience.
Her father said to me,
I've learned how to say I'm sorry. I'm getting better at that too.
you are.
Yeah.
That's it. Not going to I just can't think of it.
No, that's okay. I know these are random questions to ask you right before bed, but okay. And now I have questions for both of you.
What's that?
Okay, first one is just give me a rundown. When did you guys meet? How did you meet? And how long you've been together?
I'm going to have to leave that to her. She's younger.
We met in college
Yeah, Kane University.
In college.
in 93.
I was going to set her up with a friend of mine.
You did, and I hated you for it because all she wanted to do is just get me in bed. I was not even remotely attracted to her.
That's
I
funny.
don't just want to sleep with somebody just to sleep with.
Yeah, but then when we went out to dinner that night, and was sitting, and she's saying to me, what was it you were going to
I was going to find somebody for you.
find someone for me? And I looked at her and I said, you don't really want to do that.
And that is the moment that I had that epiphany. I'm serious. That was
And you just looked at me and said, no, I don't.
And when I look at I saw my whole life right there.
That was funny.
Okay, what else did you want to? We met in 1993.
Mhm.
We didn't get together until 95. Because she was still with Bozo Kathy. But they were on the outs at that
Yeah.
point.
That's funny. That's funny. I didn't know that you were still with Kathy when you met Gigi. That's funny.
No, I wasn't.
Yes,
I
you
knew her, but we weren't like.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know.
You were
Yeah.
with Kathy when we met.
Yeah, but we, you know, we were broken up when we got together.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So now question again.
What was the question? You said when?
Yeah.
I got everything. Or how long you've been together?
31 years. But we've known each other for 33.
Wow.
I know.
And
right?
we got our civil. What
Yeah.
was it? It was April of. The date is on there of when we had our civil ceremony.
It was like April 1st.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Nah, it was April 5th or something. I said, I'm not doing it on April Fool's Day.
No.
April 11th, is it? It's
April 5th.
It's coming up.
What year?
April 5th, 2011.
2011 was the civil ceremony.
So,
21,
15 years.
Yeah, but
15 years married, but we've been together for 31.
that's because it wasn't legal.
Yeah.
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 It became legal.
What a shock, remember?
Mm.
I went into the courthouse. I was already, you know, a politician. And I said, can you please schedule with the judge,
Mm.
you know, a ceremony? And they put the date up on the calendar in his office.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
And he's late. The judge was always late, and I had Arlene and Rich were our
Really,
witnesses.
Arlene? Grandma Lee Arlene?
No,
I was gonna say,
No.
that's crazy.
friend of mine, Richard and Arlene,
Mm.
friends. Anyway, when we go in there, because my name was up there as Chris,
Mhm.
he thought it was a guy,
That's funny.
and he was like, you could see he was like stunned for a second, and then he was
He's like a little embarrassed. But
just a little bit,
he got
but
over it.
he got over it real quick, and he
Yeah.
did a great job.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he
That's
told her
sweet.
she has to take good care of me. I was friends with him. He like
That's
we got
silly.
along. But
That's cute.
yeah, it was sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next question is, why do you think your love has lasted so long, even in old age?
Probably because we respect each other.
And because as you get older, you realize the things that you thought were so incredibly important are really insignificant when you're younger
Exactly.
and so easily worked through.
Mm.
I think anything can be worked through. I have a hard time with conversation. I'm not a conversationalist, and I certainly don't like having conversations that are very personal.
Yeah, but yet, it's you don't have to have that kind of conversation. When you live together a long time, you know almost everything about each other,
Yeah, we can actually read each other's minds, sort of, kind of.
Yeah. Finish each other's sentences. It's like, yeah. But the biggest thing is what I thought was so goddamn, would irk me,
Mhm.
when I was in my 20s or 30s, or what I thought, was so important, instead of just chill
Mhm.
and appreciate, life and the people that you have an opportunity to share life with, and don't be so critical all the time. That's another thing.
Mhm.
Judgmental and being critical, and when you're young, you tend to be more dogmatic. As you get older, you kind of, the diamond in the rough the edges get softened,
Mhm.
and you start to be able to open up to other people's point of view.
Mhm. So
I believe you had a harder time than I did with that, right?
Probably.
Because you're pretty, not all the time, not now, probably when you were younger, but definitely dogmatic, there's always room for understanding another person's point of view, and I think that's, and respecting it, even if you don't
I
agree.
was pretty good at that when I was younger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, when you were younger in our relationship, I think you've learned a lot about mental health. Like, it's very hard to deal with family structure where there are people in the family that have mental health issues, autism, alcoholism, whatever. And a person's point of view when they look at those things, okay, is based on their life experience or lack thereof, okay? So it's easy to form an opinion about it and be less benevolent, and be less patient, with that situation, because it's not an experience that you've grown up with all your life. In my case, okay, and the reason I respect her too is because the things that she's had to accept and respect in terms of my point of view in dealing with problems that exist within our family. Even though she may think differently, she always gives me the latitude to handle it the way I feel is best. Because I believe you feel that I'm kind of more aware, and I think you also, I could be wrong, but, it's also, I think you've gotten or learned as well as I have, that you don't improve circumstances by just being angry over it.
Mm-hmm.
What you cannot change, being bitter or angry or annoyed or
Mm-hmm.
resentful,
Get
or
you nowhere, believe me.
it doesn't get you anywhere.
Shut up.
Yeah. So it's just like you learn to chill.
Yeah.
And you learn to be patient. And love is patient. They say it's a cliche, but it's true. Love is patient.
That reminds me of the birdcage. I know it's a cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, you know what it is? I think we both have respected each other's different lifestyles within our lifestyle together.
That's a cool way to put it. Like different lifestyle within our lifestyles together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because whether it's that she likes to get up 6:30 in the morning and go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, at 28 or 25, I would like, fuck this shit.
Although I was working when we met.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
was going to bed.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's two kitties.
Yeah.
So I'm doing an interview. I'm interviewing them.
I
about
wish I
us.
could
We
have
love
gotten
each
to do
other.
your haircut. I could probably do it tonight if you're going to. Oh, tomorrow. Do you have to work tomorrow?
Yeah, but I'm not working a full day. I'm working morning.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if you're not working tomorrow, I could cut your hair.
Maybe when I get home.
All right, so you look nice because you have to dress nice
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be prepared to be at this Passover for several hours.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
So does that
Yeah.
answer a lot of things? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of stuff. It's hard to put
Yeah.
it into.
No, it's okay. I'll tell you now. I'm secretly been recording, so I'm gonna transcribe it later.
Oh, okay. You're not secretly recording. At any rate.
What? Wait, did you know? You know?
I figure also the idea of love for me
Mm-hmm.
is that there was only one choice I could have, which is to love or be loved.
Mm-hmm.
I would choose to love, and the reason for that is very selfish,
Mm-hmm.
because to feel love for another human being is something I get to experience. Someone may say I love you, and they may even demonstrate it, but you never physically and emotionally feel it to the depth you feel for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So if given only one choice, it would probably be to love someone deeply, you know. And if incidentally they love me too, that's great. I don't know what Lori's experience is. I don't know what your experience would be, you know,
Mm-hmm.
loving someone and what you feel inside yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cute. Okay. Next question. What did you think of each other when you first met? You've talked about this a little, but
When I first met, what do you mean?
like when you first met Gigi, what did you think?
Well,
I was a good-looking little soul.
yeah, well, yes, obviously I found her attractive, but that's not, it was at that time, I knew that she was going through something.
Mm.
I felt bad that, you know, she was sad, and I respected that she was working through that, through school, through work, through
That
trying.
was hard too, believe me.
Yeah, it was hard. She had lost a lot of weight because
Mm.
Yeah, it's only like 98 pounds.
yeah,
Wow.
her thyroid goes crazy when she's sad.
Wow. Yeah.
But I admired that she worked through it and did what she did.
Mm.
Accomplished what she accomplished.
Mm. What about you, Gigi?
I found her very caring,
Mm.
very talkative.
Because she's that runs in the family. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I found her very nice. Because we met in the first class that we took.
Mm.
Just a preliminary class, wasn't a
Yeah.
class.
Mm.
But I don't know. I felt warm with her.
Mm.
Yeah, you know how you meet someone and it's easy just to,
Yeah.
like you feel like you know them a long
Mhm.
time. It wasn't hard.
It wasn't hard at all.
No.
Although you did talk a lot.
I always talk a lot.
And
Friends.
I'm not that much of a talker.
Runs in the family. It's balance, right?
Huh?
It's a
Well,
balance.
She was used to it because her
My
dad.
dad was like her.
Yeah.
So when those two talk, man, they can talk for hours. I just go to bed. Go
Ah,
ahead.
that's funny.
It's hurting my ears.
That's funny.
They did. They talked for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I did go to bed.
Yep.
Yeah, your father talked me under the table. I'll never forget what he said to me. It was the first time we met. And this big 6 foot whatever Texan guy come from Texas with what he thought I had the accent and I thought he had the accent.
Coffee.
Yeah. And
Have a cup of coffee.
he was sitting there that night and he said to me, "Thank you for loving my daughter." And he
Aw.
cried. She went to bed. He cried because he hadn't seen her for 10 years because he was so upset with what had
They
happened.
disowned me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we just hit it off immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Thank you for loving her and taking care of her."
That's
Oh, yeah, he
sweet.
loved you.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
There's a good man.
Yeah.
Mostly.
You know, also your relationship is very much sometimes the strength of sometimes the friends or the family members who support you, regardless
Mm.
of what someone's opinion might be about that relationship.
Mm.
They're not judgmental, it's unconditional.
Mm. That's interesting too, because I feel that.
Yeah,
with
you know
Finn's
how you
family.
talk about Finn's family,
Mm.
accepting you and
Mhm.
loving you for who you are.
Okay, final question. What is your favorite thing about each other right now?
Right now?
Mm-hmm. Right now.
Oh, okay.
That's hard.
Yeah, because I have more than a lot of different things, you know. Her sense of humor is the biggest thing. I laugh. Sometimes we laugh so hard about things. It's amazing and
I like
just
to dance in front of her.
funny. That's right. You know, something will be on and she'll do like white person
Yeah.
dance and she exaggerates
Yeah.
it and I just howl. I think it's the laughter we've had. It's just, it's
I
all,
have to agree. It's
yeah,
the laughter.
yeah. But also it's the ability to just be together, even
be
in
yourself.
silence. Be yourself,
Mhm.
be in silence, you know, no matter what your condition is, you know.
I mean, look at me. I ain't got no fucking teeth, but she still loves me. Just my teeth.
I still think she's cute. So it's
know.
deeper than just physical appearances.
Yeah. It's deeper than physical. Okay.
Got a lot of stuff there.
I do. I know. I got a good 28 minutes of things to.
What are you typing?
I'm just typing down general keynotes, but then I'm also. I have this. So
You type fast.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So does